Hey there, I hope you had a nice weekend. I'm back again. Welcome to my channel, edtech. Okay, today will be a lesson on JavaScript introduction. This will be purely an introduction, but I'll be showing a couple of examples to get started off. Since JavaScript is a bit challenging, I will be doing the lessons quite in details and itsy bitsy short as possible, so that you can grasp and understand really well. I'll be explaining in a very simple manner, so hang on there. First, what is JavaScript? JavaScript is actually a programming language that will help the user to interact with your website or app. Like, let's say, for example, in HTML and CSS, you can design the layout of the page, you can change the color, etc. You can make a nice landing page and a beautiful website. But when it comes to JavaScript, by using this language, what you can do, the user can interact. A lot of interactions can happen, like using a chatbot, or let's say changing the HTML, changing the paragraph, then even changing the attribute and things like that. A lot of things can be changed, which is already there in the page, and also the user can interact. In other words, it's the behavior of your website and how the interaction can happen between the user and your website. We will go into details later in so many other chapters, but to start off, let's start with our basic HTML page on CodePen first. This is the HTML declaration. Open the HTML tag. The body tag, open and close. This will be a very simple exercise to get started off. Okay, then inside the body, we will be doing the H1, the header with an attribute, ID attribute, equal to, let's call it heading. You may call it anything, it's up to you. Okay, then your paragraph, let's call it the para ID. You already learned about attributes in the HTML lesson earlier. Okay, there you go. Okay, then we come here. First, I'll be showing separately how you do your HTML in the HTML file, then in the JavaScript file. Okay. Okay, by ID, because you've already set an ID here. Let's do the heading. So you're changing the attribute of your inner HTML. So dot, and what is that change going to be? Let's call it my new heading is here. Let's call it like that. Don't forget to do the semicolon. Okay, so how do you read it? So this is the HTML document. So you want to first target the element by, you want to target the element, which element? The H1 element. By what? By its attribute ID. So just understand it this way. Then within that syntax, so within the brackets, which ID is it? The header ID, because we called our H1 ID as header ID, right here. Heading, I'm sorry. So need to check it out. Okay, then dot. So in of that, the H1 ID with its ID, which is called heading, target that which is contained inside the HTML, inner HTML. So it's contained inside your HTML. So change that to what? My new heading is here, already changed. Next. So if you remember like this, you won't forget. Okay, same thing repeat. Only thing is ID attribute has changed for the P. So what is that? The para. Right? Dot. Continue the same. Sorry, press something wrong. Okay, let's say whatever. Okay, already changed. So target the ID attribute of paragraph, which is para. This is inside your HTML, dot inner HTML equal to. So you're changing it now to your new paragraph, which is whatever my new paragraph is here within the quotes, and it's already changed. Save it. Now here, this one we did by doing it inside the JS file. When you're doing your JavaScript, you can do it in different positions. One is when you're using CodePen, you can do it here within JS. Then when you're doing it within your HTML, you can include it in the header. I show you how. Sorry. But you need to write a script tag, open and close. So whenever you're doing it within the HTML body, you need to include the body or head. Within the HTML document, you need to include the script open and close tags. That is very important. Here you don't need to if you're using in the JS file within the CodePen. So what I do is, to make things easier, I just cut paste from here so that I don't have to type again. Okay, it still works, right? Okay, now I want to show you the same thing. I cut and paste and then include it within the body of the HTML. So the whole thing, let's cut until the script close tag, cut. Okay, we place it where? Within your body. Okay, towards the close after you finish your other things. Okay, there you go. Still works, right? Magic. So this is how you can do. Now there's another way, of course. This is when you're doing it in a separate HTML notepad. There's another way of doing it, which is by using notepad, where you'll be using your HTML and CSS and JavaScript all in separate folders. I'll be teaching you that in the next session because I don't want to burden you too much. If I teach you in smaller chunks, it's much easier to grasp and understand, and you can experiment and play around with the text. You can do different little things just using these two IDs. and check if it works. And until then, if you have any doubts in between, you can always put your question in the comment section below. I'll be also including a link to this CodePen file in my description section, so watch out for that. You can take that file, you open up your CodePen, and you can experiment there. And as I said earlier, anything you want to ask, you can ask me in the comment section. And please subscribe so that you can access more such lessons which I'll be introducing in the JavaScript. And I'll be really introducing the lessons in such a way, the tutorials in such a way, that you can really understand the minutest of details. Yeah. So until then, have a nice day. See you. Happy coding. And to those who have already subscribed, thank you so much for having subscribed to my channel. There are also other lessons that I am doing, other tutorials, I mean, on HTML and CSS. So if you want to catch up on that, you're welcome to check out those tutorials also. See you in the next class.